Hello, so today we're looking at simple interest. So what is simple interest? So simple interest, let's have a look at our formulas. So usually it has to do with money. So for example, we have this equation right here. So we're given a principal amount. So what's this principal mean? It's the amount of money that you start with. And then you have some kind of interest rate. It's usually based on a year, a calendar year, so or 12 months, so annual interest rate. And then that principal amount of money is set aside, say in an account at a certain interest rate that it earns every year. And it sits in that account, say for T years, I don't know, 5 years. So at the end of those 5 years, how much money have you earned in interest? And that's what interest earned is. I seem to have spelled earned incorrectly. Typos there. Okay, so that's what our interest is, and this formula is simple interest. It's called the simple interest. Okay, so once we found the interest, we can then figure out the total amount of money that we have at the end of that period. So total amount A equals the interest earned plus that initial principal amount. So now that we have those two formulas, let's have a look at what questions we're being asked. All right, so simple interest. So we're asked to find the principal when, okay, we're given an interest of $192. Our interest rates, that's what R is, 6% per year. And this money's, and whatever principal amount is put into this account for 4 years. So let's figure out what P is. So pick a color. Let's have a look at our formula. I equals PRT. Let's start plugging things in. So one thing we have to note is that R, while it's a percentage, has to be written in a decimal form, and T is always in years. So in the second question, which we'll get to, we're given months rather than years. Okay, so our first step is to change our 6% to a decimal. So we're going to take the 6% and divide it by 100. And what do we get? 0.06. We're going to use that value for R. Okay, so now let's start plugging things in. So we have 192 equals our unknown, the principal amount, times our interest, then times our total number of years, 4. Okay, so now we're going to solve for P. So for P, did I put in the wrong value for our interest? Oh, that would be nice, a couple extra dollars, but no, we just earned 192. Let's solve for P. So I'm going to divide, let's do this. We're going to divide both sides by 0.06 times 4. Okay, and then we get, on the left-hand side, we have 192 divided by 4 times 0.06, and this equals our principal amount. So let's do that and see what we get. 192 divided by 4 divided by 0.06. Oh, so our principal amount was $800. That means we started with $800, and then it earned over 4 years another 192. That's not bad. Okay, great. That's good. Now let's have a look at part B. Why do we do part B over here? Right, so part B. So again, same formula, I equals PRT. Our interest rate is 2% per year. Let's change that to a decimal. So 2 divided by 100 equals 0.02. Now let's plug into our formula. Our interest earn is $20. We don't know our principal. Our interest rate is 0.02, and that time, okay. So this is interesting. So our time is 20 months. But we need to write that in terms of years. So we're going to take the 20 months. How many months in a year? 12 divided by 12. That will give us a number of years. Or a number of years. So we got a common factor of 4 and 20 and 12. So we're left with 5 1/3 years. Plug that in for t. So that's our new t. Now solve for p. Solve for p. Okay. Let's cross multiply. We got 20 times 3/5 divided by 0.02. That's our p. Let's figure out what this equals. We cancel it the 5. 5 is a common factor in 5 and 20. We got 12 over 0.02. That's our principal. Figure out what that is. 600. Therefore, P equals $600. Good. Let's put the dollar symbol in here in part A. Excellent. All right, second question. Okay, find the time when the principal, given a principal of $2,000 and an interest rate, annual interest rate of 3.5%, we end up with an interest earned of $700. Okay, so let's go back to our formula. Okay, all right, so A, our formula is I equals P RT. We need to take our interest rate, 3.5, and turn it into a decimal. So we're going to divide it by 100. Whoops. 100, that equals 0.035, and we're going to solve for t. So let's start plugging things in. So our interest earned 700, our principal is 2,000, our interest rate is 0.035, and we have t. Let's solve for t. Solve for t. I'm going to divide both sides by our 2,000 times 0.035. Okay, just quickly do that. It takes a while to write things out. So these, on the right-hand side, what are we left with? We're left with t. On the left-hand side, we have, let's figure this out. Let's plug it into our calculator. Well, we can cancel out at least 100 there. So t is 70 over 20 times 0.035. Okay, 7 divided by 20 divided by 0.035. Oh, nice number. T equals 10 years. That works out really well. Oh, that's not so bad. All right, second part B is the second application of this formula B. So we're given a principal amount of $3,500, annual interest rate of 1.75%, and the interest earned is $306.25. Let's write out our formula. I equals PRT, our interest. We're going to rewrite as a decimal. We need to divide 1.75 by 100. Let's move this over. We get 0.0175. And I think that's good. Now let's start plugging things in. So our interest earned is 306.25 equals, and let's, our principal's 3,500. Our interest per year is 0.0175, and we're looking for the time. I'm going to divide both sides by 3,500 times 0.0175. Okay. So on the right-hand side, we're left with t, because everything else cancels out, or 1. On the left-hand side, we have this number, this interesting number. So let's punch it into our calculator. Probably the best way. 306.25 divided by 3,500 divided by 0.0175. And again, it works out really nice. T equals 5 years. So it takes 5 years to earn $306.25 in interest when we're given an annual rate of 1.75%, interest rate of 1.75%, and we start with a principal of $3,500. Well, it's good to know. Okay, so that brings us to the end of simple interest, all very practical things that we can use, values and formulas that we can use in life. So if you have any questions, send us a note at info@raisemymarks.com or give us a call day or evening, and we will be happy to answer your question. Thank you for watching.